Everything seemed normal at first. Passengers and crew members were simply going about their jobs, unaware that something terrifying was hiding on the plane.
We'll save loved ones. We'll bring them back. It's why we all sacrificed.
Kelly, the risk's going.
As the flight continued, strange events started happening behind the scenes. Some people began to notice that something wasn't right, but no one realized just how dangerous the situation was.
He's not going to risk it. Don't worry about it. Going to throw up not believing members.
Unknown to everyone on board, a deadly secret was about to turn this ordinary flight into a nightmare. And when one of the scientists finally came face to face with the infected subject, what he saw left him completely terrified, because whatever was inside that chamber was no longer human, and things were about to get much, much worse. Everything seemed to be going according to plan until the aircraft suddenly ran into trouble. Without warning, the entire plane began shaking violently, sending fear through both the passengers and the crew. Panic started to spread as no one understood what was happening. But while everyone was focused on the turbulence, a far more dangerous problem was unfolding in the cargo area. The violent shaking caused the quarantine chamber containing the mysterious woman to break loose. Moments later, the massive tank crashed to the ground with tremendous force. And then, the unthinkable happened. The impact forced the chamber open. For the first time, the woman who had been locked away and heavily guarded was finally free. Unfortunately, no one on board had any idea that their worst nightmare had just begun. As soon as the quarantine chamber burst open, the mysterious woman slowly stepped out. She looked frightened and completely disoriented, as if she had no idea where she was or why she had been trapped inside the tank. Confused and struggling to remember anything, she kept asking questions, trying to make sense of the situation. After a few moments, fragments of her memory began returning, and she suddenly remembered that she was a doctor. Meanwhile, the guard who had been assigned to watch over her wasn't having an easy time either. During the turbulence, a heavy cargo container had crashed onto his leg, trapping him in place and leaving him unable to move. Terrified and convinced that someone was hiding nearby, the injured man began firing wildly into the darkness. But just as he prepared to shoot again, a voice interrupted him. The woman slowly stepped out from her hiding place with her hands raised, trying to show that she meant no harm. But the frightened guard panicked. Without hesitation, he opened fire and shot her several times. The woman collapsed to the floor, and believing that he had finally eliminated the threat, the man relaxed and reached for another magazine to reload his weapon. However, when he looked back, the body was gone. Confused and horrified, he raised his head, only to come face to face with the woman who had somehow survived and was now charging straight at him.